everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we are setting up my bullet journal for April and I can't help but do a cherry blossom theme. We are starting off with writing the April title with this pink Tombow dual brush pen. I will put the color code of the Tombow in the description and also all the other stationery I will use for this setup. I darkened the bottom half of the letters just by using the same Tombow to go over the areas I want to make darker. I used to see Heda from Mochi Bujo do this style of title a lot back a few years ago maybe, so this title is definitely inspired by her. I then used this grayish brown vintage Sarasa clip to outline the bottom right part of the letters and a white gel pen to highlight certain parts to make it pop out from the page. After the title is written in, I moved on to drawing the decorations, which this month we are doing a cherry blossom theme. I used the same vintage Sarasa clip again to outline the flowers. I didn't use any black in this setup at all, even though this brown Sarasa clip looks almost black. It is a tiny bit lighter and I think that helped make this entire setup look softer, not as harsh, and went quite well with the soft pinks of the setup. These cherry blossoms look quite complicated, but it's actually quite simple to draw. I think you can see my pencil sketches here. To start off, I just drew a circle where I want the cherry blossoms to be to just get the placement down, and then I marked the center of the circle and divided it into 5 sections. Then I roughly drew the petal shapes in each of the sections, just like the general water drop shape, and I finally added all the line details with the vintage Rasa clip. I hope that makes sense, but if it does not, then you can just see my pencil sketches and you might get an idea. When outlining the petals, I made an indentation at the end of each one of them and then just followed the outlines I already drew. I broke up the lines in some areas so that it is not just like one continuous line, which I think adds to the softness and the organic look of the cherry blossoms. And that is one reason why I find drawing something from nature like flowers and plants, they're more forgiving than other objects because plants are organically formed, so they differ in shapes and sizes, so you almost cannot mess it up. If you draw a line a little slanted or a bit wobbly, you're not wrong because in nature nothing is perfect anyways, and that's the beauty of it. I then erased the pencil lines before I added in the pink color. I used the same pink as the one I used for the title, and I'm coloring just from the center up to the middle of the petals, and I did the same things with the falling petals and buds as well. I just colored up to the midway point. And by the way, I did try that cherry blossom strawberry matcha drink thing I talked about in my last setup video, and it was strange. I don't know. I don't think Starbucks got the cherry blossom flavor quite right. I was so excited to try it, but I was kind of disappointed, to be honest. Then after this first layer of pink, I then took a darker Tombow and color just in the center of each flower. I initially planned to just stop here, but I was not yet satisfied with how it looked. I imagined it to be a softer transition of pink, so I grabbed a pink colored pencil and just lightly colored over the white parts, and the color code of the color pencil will also be put in the description. Moving on to the calendar spread now, I am drawing the calendar grid with the Sarasa clip. Each box is 5x5 grid spaces, and I got Monday to Wednesday on the left and Thursday to Sunday on the right page. I always try to split up the calendar at a point that makes sense. Like for April, the 30th is on Wednesday, so I put Monday to Wednesday on the left page. I hope that makes sense. I could also cram all 7 days onto one page, but it is just easier to write in bigger boxes. Above each row, I used a pink Tombow to make little bars and will write the days of the week on top of them. But first, I wrote in the dates in the top right corner of each box, and I was just gonna simply write in the dates, but I thought this page could do with a bit more pink, so I got this peachy pink Crayola and made little circles in the corners before I continued writing in all the dates. Lately, I've been getting less afraid to write in cursive, like free-handing cursive. I'm still not good by any means, but if I don't practice, I won't get better, so I've been incorporating more cursive fonts into my spreads. I remember back in primary school, I can't remember if it was a weekly thing or a monthly thing, but we each had like a black hardcover notebook that each week or month the teachers would give us like an hour and we would have to write a story in the notebook, and we could only use a pen and only write in cursive, and this exercise was supposedly to help us improve our cursive handwriting and potentially make less mistakes while writing because you can't erase a pen. But I hated every single second of it. One, because I don't know how to write in cursive, and two, I was so scared to spell something wrong, and this was back when my English wasn't that strong yet, so I was struggling to come up with words while also struggling to write it down, and it was just a nightmare. Anyways, back to the spread. For the decorations on this page, I again drew the cherry blossoms like we did on the cover page. We're gonna be drawing a lot of these cherry blossoms in this video, so I hope you are not tired of them yet. And these cherry blossoms are the only real drawings of the setup. Last month I did a matcha theme, which was a bit more illustration heavy than I normally do for my bullet journal, and because of that, when it came time to making the weekly spreads, like I don't have large chunks of time throughout the month, so I tend to make my weekly spreads in short spurts when I do have time and add in little doodles here and there. So I think you will see when I make a flip through of this bullet journal that the weekly spreads in March are so bland in comparison to the initial pages. And that is the calendar spread done. Moving on to the last two pages now. Let's make my habit tracker. I'm drawing a lot of boxes this month because last month I was finding that I wanted to track a few more things at this time in my life. So I'm drawing 7 boxes. Usually I try not to go over 5 or 6. I don't know if I will use all the boxes, but we'll see. For these boxes, I didn't round the corners. When I make these habit tracker boxes, I try to match it to whatever shape boxes I have going on the calendar page so that they look cohesive, and I will usually do the same thing with the boxes for the dailies as well. This month, because I have 7 boxes, I didn't want to write all the numbers in the calendar because that would be a lot of numbers. So I decided to do these little circles instead of writing in the dates, and I will cross off each circle for the days I completed the habit. I almost regretted it as soon as I started because I felt like it was just as time consuming, maybe even a little bit more, and my hands still hurt it anyways. And then I drew more cherry blossoms. I drew so many in this video. I feel like I'm now an expert at drawing these. I can draw them pretty fast now. I've been doing lots of pink themes lately in my bullet journal, but cherry blossoms are just so fitting for April. I'm going to Osaka in April as well, and one of my core memories is going to the Osaka castle with my dad and seeing the cherry blossoms blowing in the wind, so I couldn't help but create this theme. I will vlog the trip as well, so if you want to see it, be sure to check out my vlogging channel in the description. I wrote habit tracker on top of the page, and we will move on to the last page of this setup, which I am calling my brain dump page. I recently added this page to my March setup as well because I was finding that there were so many things that I had to store in my brain and I can't remember that many things at once, and sometimes I will forget things or have thoughts relating to something else pop up when I'm in the middle of doing something completely different. So to avoid my brain from burning out and to hopefully be more organized, I'll just dump those random thoughts onto this page. And that is my setup for April. Let's now flip through all the spreads we made today. The pink colors of this theme makes me so happy. It almost looks like these pages are blooming in my bullet journal. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. My vlogging channel is linked down below if you're interested. Have a wonderful day or night wherever you are. Bye!